You came in on Dynamite, at least, with the Inner Circle, and I'm interested to hear what the backstory was between, first of all, coming up with the Inner Circle, but also the members within the Inner Circle.
Well, Tony wanted me to be a part of a faction, and I've never been a part of one before. I was a little bit reluctant at first, but then he was like, it's the Four Horsemen and you're Ric Flair. I was like, okay, well, let's give it a try. And I can't remember what he wanted to be like a band, like Chris Jericho and the Conspirators or whatever it would be. And I was like, nah, we got to set better. My idea was Fist, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Fist. It would be called Fist, and that would be the merch. And then I was doing a BTE bit that Matt and Nick asked me to do, and I said something about my Inner Circle is involved in this, and they're like, Inner Circle's a cool name. I was like, yeah, that's a really cool name. That could be it. Now it's funny too because now we say it. It's like Fozzy. You say it, you know it, but when you first say it, you're like that's weird. I remember people like Inner Circle. That's a terrible name, and now it's a fucking great name, but you just got to live with it for a while. And the idea was at first, well, who's going to be in it? And I remember. Let me think about this. It was always going to be the idea of a tag team, an up-and-comer, and a heater, so to speak, right? So I think the original tag team, one of the ideas that was bandied around, and it might have even been by me, was Phoenix and Pentagon. And then I thought, I don't want gimmick guys, mask guys. And then Santana Ortiz came up, and I was like, well, I know them from the cruise because they're on the first cruise, but I don't really know much about them. But the Bucks were saying how good they were in the first Kona. I was okay. Well, let's throw those guys in there. And then I wanted MJF, but I think Cody wanted to do stuff with him. So I said, well, how about Sammy Guevara? Because I scouted Sammy Guevara and brought him to the table. Never met him before in my life. I just watched him on an NWA pay-per-view that Cody was wrestling Aldis, and I saw him. I was like, this guy's good, and he's miscast as a babyface. He just looks like an asshole. So Sammy, that's cool. And then for the heater, there's a guy called Anthony Agogo, who is a boxer, and they were suggesting him, and I was like, I don't want that, because I had that in WWE a couple times. They gave me heaters that were smaller than me or the same size. I want a big guy. And I'd been kickboxing training, hadn't spoken to him in years, but I was kickboxing with the same trainer as Jake was, getting ready for his Bellator fights. And I just started talking to him, like, are you interested in coming back? And he's like, I'd love to. And I pitched him to Tony, and I said, this is the guy I want. I've always been a big fan of his. I wanted him to be my heater back in WWE, but they just miscast him. They didn't know what to do with a 6'6", good-looking blonde guy who can work and has a character that can talk in the right circumstances. Like, what the fuck? Like, what? But that's fine. And so we got him involved. And I remember the very first night when everyone came out, we did a photo shoot wearing Inner Circle shirts, and I was like, this reminds me of Guns N' Roses in '87. It's 5 guys that don't really belong together. If you look at that original picture, they look like they're in 5 different bands, but it just works. And that's the same to this day. When you get the 5 of us together, it just works. It looks cool. And I pride myself in the fact that in the whole year we've been together, we've never had any dissension, no teases of breaking up, no crosswords, and no reason to. If this was WWE, we would have been broken up after 3 months, and that's not what we're going to do. There's no reason to fuck with it, and that's one of the reasons why I love the Inner Circle. Now, could we add some people to it? Absolutely. That could always be part of the story, and that will be a part of the story. But to me, it's like those 5 original guys. I like that. I still like it, and I think we really gelled, and we've become really good friends after not even really knowing each other at all.